So who talks first? You talk first? I talk first?
Ladies, gentlemen, foreign species of a salt and pepper age, welcome to Hell of a Pilot Season 2. With me tonight, and as always, we have Lockie on my left and Mike on my right. Also a second mic in front of me, which is our new mic. Not replacing you, Mike, but at least this mic is a mic.
MIC.
MIC. As you can tell, I hope you can tell. If you can't tell, I'm very disappointed. That we have brand new sound quality, thanks to a very courteous young man who is on my left. Also, hello, Lockie.
Hey, yeah, I just thought if we're gonna keep doing this, let's get a better microphone.
It's gonna help me so much with editing, because my God. Laptop microphones. They don't make them like they used to.
Yeah, I did feel a little bit bad when, my other microphone broke ages ago and I never replaced it. And then we were Skyping all those lovely people and listening back, and the quality is a bit all over the place, and that's entirely my fault for not getting a microphone. But here, here's the new one, so. It's
very big.
Yeah.
I like it. It's retro 40s. In fact, it almost looks like it's from the original Star Wars trilogy type microphone. It's kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think so. It's
yeah.
It's nice. It looks it looks a bit like what's that guy's head? The robot.
IG-88.
IG-88.
Yes.
I like it. It's got the evil red glowing eye. Yeah.
Well,
So Mike.
Yes.
Not you.
The other one. Well, I miss a show or two, and I'm replaced by a piece of technology.
Okay, this one for you, Mike.
Yes.
What's on the show today?
What's on the show today? We are going to be talking about numerous things, including the recent FAQs and changes to some of the much needed trajectory simulator. I was going to say trajectory stimulator.
Oh. That's what it was to me.
Yes.
Not anymore.
But Genius, a few other things, and we're going to talk a little about the most recent wave and the impact that it's had on the meta and what we've been playing.
Yeah.
Oh, and also, of course, you're doing law.
I am doing law. Of
Yeah.
course I am.
Yes.
We're back, and I've got a doozy for you. He's going to be evil.
Ooh, it's a surprise.
He's a surprise.
Yes.
These guys don't know it, but it's been a long time coming. Lockie, anything more to add?
No, just we're very excited to be recording again after nearly 2 months.
Oh, wow, that long?
Had an amazing year last year, and we're back for season 2. We're back, all right, to do as the Backstreet Boys done before us. All right.
Dun-dun-dun. Copyright. Dun-dun-dun. Copyright strike.
Good evening, citizens, and welcome to HoloNet News. In this evening's edition, we have an update on the continuing war crimes of the Rebel Alliance. These sneaky insurgents are known for using underhanded technology in their bombing runs, sending ordnance along trajectories that only a genius could simulate. But now, thanks to recent errata in Imperial law, the rules of warfare have changed, and these adjustments officially make such tactics illegal. If the Rebellion hope to continue drawing support as a faction, they'd better fall in line. Although the Rebellion are still a cause of stress and villainous criminal enforcers remain at large, you have nothing to fear while the pilots of the Empire are keeping you safe. Long, sleek Imperial fighters equipped with advanced sensor systems are able to dodge around the foe, while patrolling gunboats lock them down with fearsome missiles and leave them harpooned in space awaiting justice. The enemies of the Empire may have their tricks for avoiding capture like illegal stims or cybernetic enhancements, but at the end of the day, your boys in black are the ones flying the ships without any assistance from droids, and that's how you know they'll get the job done. If you like news about life in your Empire, why not join up with your local squadron? The best place to keep up with the times is on the front lines, and while it's only human to admit the thought of flying into combat zones leaves you feeling rattled, the right amount of Imperial Imperial training will drill that fear right out of you while you wait for rebel bombing tactics to change again. If you want to know more about how to join up, just like Holonet News on Fully Enclosed Helmet Book, the most popular social media site in the Navy. That's all for now, so until next time, this is Holonet News.
Mike's holding up a book that he just pulled from the shelf called Propaganda, A History of Persuasive Art in the Galaxy.
Persuasive art.
So this is, I'm just going to mention this because I was inspired by Lockie. So this was actually a Christmas present from my lovely girlfriend, Laura. And it is, if you like, various posters, both pro-Imperial and pro-Rebel, done in sort of like 1930s, 40s propaganda style.
I love it.
It's an awesome book. So,
I love it so much.
Yes, so get onto it because it's a wonderful book.
So, before we talk about the unfortunateness that is destroying my life when it comes to bombs again, let's talk
Get
about...
over it.
I never even got a chance to do it! I didn't even know it was a thing until it was gone. So sad. But let's explain what was happening and why it had to be fixed. Lockie.
Okay, the combination of Genius and Trajectory Simulator is one that I have to admit I didn't understand at first, but then when it was explained to me, this light bulb went off over my head and I just went, oh my god.
Yeah.
Launch was a word that was supposed to replace drop. You could launch 5 straight instead of dropping.
Mm-hmm.
And Genius was obviously you could drop after you moved instead of before. So the rules as written, and so all of this was technically legit, you could move your ship and then launch a bomb 5 straight into play, like when you knew the play state, which was pretty nasty because the area of effect for that was easily avoidable for a small base ship, and if you dropped like a proton bomb or something, you were giving face-up damage to lots of ships around. The Trajectory Simulator, it's not so bad if you fire it and then move, because you have to be much cleverer with how you're positioned and how you move. But if you paired it up with Genius, you could essentially use a bomb for your primary weapon and then still attack later on, and it was just hurting.
And what was so good about it is that just due to the way bombs work, they explode before the shooting phase. So you could throw a bomb in, it would do splash damage to quite a huge chunk of damage, especially some of the ones that roll multiple dice. That explode, you would be able to shoot at 2 or 3 people at one time and destroy them before they could shoot, even if they had a higher PS than you.
Chucking it to Sabine and even nastier.
Yeah, exactly. And then Sabine just laughs at you and says, well, there's more to it. Here you go.
Wound, here's some more salt.
Yeah.
This FAQ really missed an opportunity. They could have changed Sabine. I reckon Sabine's had a pretty good run. She's due for a change. But I guess you sort of got to congratulate FFG on the one hand that they acted so quickly. I mean, this could have been a problematic combination for 2 years, but it wasn't.
Yeah. I think also we're now coming into a season of regionals in Australia and North America and around the world, so having something like that, which could be potentially both a negative play experience and game breaking, would sort of cast a shadow over the entire sort of,
I liked how it worked with this, kind of jank way to do it, but when Lockie and I sat down and we looked at how it actually played out, the destruction zone of a bomb was greater than range 3 and almost went into range 1.
Yeah.
So, and you're taking on multiple ships, so you're just laughing with that. So it kind of, and especially because it happens after your movement, and you put on a high PS ship, you've basically won the battle before any shots are fired.
Yeah.
So I understand where people come from. I'm just disappointed that they've nerfed bombs again.
Well, I guess they did nerf bombs, but also bombs didn't really need any more help. Like, I don't hate bombs. I don't want them taken out of the game, but they're pretty good as they are. Bombs don't need anything more. They're okay. You can stop helping them. So I guess anything that they were going to get to be too dominant. I guess I just want bombs kept in check, that's all.
Yeah, but look, I mean, it came in the sort of the Resistance bomber pack. It was thematic. I think it was intended to be flavour. It was intended to be, hey, there's a new Star Wars movie, and look at this cool new ship, and this is thematic, and we've designed this around this, and oh, look, unintended consequences again.
Yeah. Trajectory simulator on the Resistance bomber, I have zero issue with.
Correct.
Yeah, it's cool.
Because it can't be used with Genius, and you have to fly in a certain way.
Yeah.
It was only the Trajectory Simulator Genius combo that had me worried.
Yeah.
Because someone, I'll have to check my facts on this afterwards, but I think it was in the UK.
Yeah.
It was the top 8 of that tournament. Like 7 of them were exactly the same list.
Yeah, and
That's
I think
just too much.
it was at the Miranda Nim. The Miranda Nim meta as well that people were. And look, I you know what, I've become increasingly cautious about calls for nerfing, etc., because I think. You know what? I think at the moment, in particular, the game is in a pretty good state, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. Outliers like this situation with Genius and Trajectory Stimulator, as I like to call it, hence the name of the show. Look, that's an outlier, so that can be rapidly fixed. But I don't.
I agree with you. It's really annoying. Actually, on the forum, they call them nerf herders.
Yeah.
People who want everything nerfed. I agree that the nerf herders, they're plentiful and they're vocal, and I get it. It's annoying to call for nerfs all the time, but just this thing needed to be balanced. That's all. Just for game variety. It was the same as a thing I used to say about the Jump Masters.
Yep.
I was sick of seeing all the time Jump Masters. Just, variety.
To the point now where you actually, I don't know about other metas, but you rarely see them now. In Melbourne, I haven't seen too many of them.
Too many bombers.
No, Jump Masters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got nerfed. They got hit in the hard with the nerf bat.
Yeah.
So moving on from bombers, you said earlier, Mike, that that we're in a pretty good state when it comes to everything. Could tell me more. Tell me what do you think is good? What do you think is bad now?
Yep.
Is there anything bad? Are we in the golden age of X-Wing 2.0?
I wouldn't say 2.0, but I think it's definitely X-Wing rebooted. I think the succession of changes they made last year, and sort of particularly dealing with the Jump Master issue, was well done. I am very pleased to say that I think the Imperials have made a big comeback. That's due to the changes to the FAQ and the nerfs, but also the fact that we had a couple of actually finally really outstanding ships come out, and that is the Silencer and the Gunboat. And both of them, I've been playing with them. I think Lockie, you've been playing with them as well. They're great ships. They're competitive.
They're very good.
They're very good. The Gunboat in particular, that slam action on the Gunboat is that thing is
slam reload. It's crazy good.
The slam reload, that thing is so nimble.
Lots of people say, and even the Birmingham Barons particularly, they say you can fly the Gunboat without the title.
Yep.
With the title, it's so forgiving. I was crap at flying the K-Wing. Couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But the fact that you can slam and do actions and shoot.
Correct.
It's a forgiving ship.
It is, and look, it's robust and durable. The other day, I took a quick look at the results around the world, what's happening in regionals, what's happening in game stores and the like. We are seeing a variety. We're seeing a lot more small ships. We're seeing less turret ships. We are seeing a lot of Miranda Nim but the changes may change that, may affect that. But I think we're in a point where we're seeing a healthy variety, and you've got competitive options for every faction now.
What do you think about the Resistance bomber? We've spoken about the Gunboat, we've spoken about the Silencer. Yep. I don't remember what came out with Scum.
Kimagila.
Oh yeah,
that
one didn't hit the mark yet, I reckon.
No,
I've got a little bit of experience with the Kimagila, playing against it, not using it.
Yeah.
It's a good ship. The bullseye firing arc came into play much more often than I expected, because we talked about the fact that it was going to be difficult to control the bullseye firing arc, deliberately get something so small onto an enemy ship, but just, life found a way. Something that we never talked about or considered, but happened a lot. The amount of times ships ended up in the bullseye firing arc by accident. Like, just fly the Kimagila or against it, it's gonna happen. Yeah. In the course of a game, it's gonna happen. Like, I took stress for shooting at the ship that had the Enforcer title
which it was a little bit. It was not as bad as shooting at quick draw or Wolf Waro, say, but the mind game was there. Did I want the stress? It turned out that yes, I did. I never lost any tokens to Tirani Kulda's ability, but that was just because I didn't have any, and so on and so on. Like it's a good ship, but I understand why it wasn't more popular. Just because I think Scum, they're more about their crew. I think the large base ships are going to remain the more popular way of playing the Scum faction.
Yeah.
What do you think about the Resistance Bomber, Mike?
I don't have one yet. I've seen it played casually, and I've seen people play with iron bombs. Olaf, one of our local players here, I saw him last night playing a really effective bomber list where he was just basically locking down his opponents with ion bombs and just bumping them and everything. So I think that was quite good. I've seen lists where you've got 2 bombers and like the little Ezra stress bug as well, which I can imagine be only damn annoying. The thing about the bomber is it's got a lot of health. That's what's going for it. Undecided. I think it's going to be a slow burn. I think it's still waiting for its time.
I think you can say it was the least popular of the ships that came out in December.
When it got spoiled, and there was one particular ship that allowed it to do extra damage if it was with its
rattled.
Yeah. I really thought that would take over, but then I guess this trajectory simulator just did that, except better.
People are doing that Sabine combo though, aren't they? Guaranteed damage from Sabine, guaranteed damage from the title.
God, I hope so. If you're not, you're doing it wrong.
Look, I think the bomber has probably been overshadowed by the Phantom 2. I'll be honest, because that's actually and Lachlan's having "I told you so" moment there. He actually just did a little dance on the table. That I think has been one of the really pleasant surprises of that wave. Just how good it is. And if you don't know what's called the stress bug, which is Ezra with a little what is it? I've seen
R3A2
with the stress. That thing is so annoying.
It's annoying and it's diverse.
Yes,
there's 3 because the Ezra stress bug is so potent. It's got a name for itself as it's kind of like Biggs. Actually, I shouldn't steal this. Mike was saying before it's kind of like Biggs in the sense that it makes your enemy want to shoot them. Like I was playing some games the other night. And there were times where my opponents shot at Ezra instead of more valuable ships because he was just annoying them. And that helped. Like, it's a psychological edge just because it's Ezra has gotten in a short time famous for shutting enemy ships down. I've seen 3 different combos, so it's pretty diverse. The most famous one is Gunner. So you shoot once, miss, shoot twice, double stress the enemy.
Yep.
If you don't have the points for Gunner, the Hera crew.
Yeah.
Say, I've got a stack of stress. You think I can't K-turn? Surprise, I'm K-turning.
Yeah.
And there's also the Zeb crew. They, you bumped me because you didn't want me to shoot at you and stress you. Well, guess what? Zeb says I can shoot at you and stress you even though we're touching.
Yeah.
There is no hiding from the Zeb. No hiding. Whatever.
Yeah, and look, you know what? I haven't got one, but I'm planning to get one because I think it was a ship that was at first dismissed by a lot of people. It's like, great, we need it. It's like, what is this thing going to do? It's just a support ship. It's really good. I think the first time I flew against it, it locked down one of my Imperial aces with like multiple stress, and I was like, "Damn it, that ship was out."
The Maul crew card came in that, but what I was really interested in was the Fen Rao pilot.
Yep.
Has you not seen him flown?
I've flown him.
Is he good?
I've flown against. I've flown against.
Is he better? He's not better or not as good as locking down his ships as it is?
It makes it's apples and oranges. It's the same ship, but it does a completely different thing. Bring the sheath of P that you need for the squad that you're using.
Okay.
Like I completely missed the point of Flight Assist Astromech in our episode about it last year. I was thinking of it in terms of maneuverability only, and I said, why would you ever put it on Fen Rao? And it dawned on me that if you've got Flight Assist Astromech on Fen Rao and it doesn't trigger, that means someone is in your arc, and that's good for you. Like I've used Fen Rao to shut down tokens on people, and that's awesome. But Fen Rao is also awesome because of his pilot skill. the fact that he's pilot skill 9 and he's only firing 2 red dice, which are potentially unmodified because he might have wasted his action coordinating someone else. So if you put operations specialist on him, when he misses, and he probably will, he's going to give a focus token to a friendly, so he can give a friendly a focus token and another action in the same turn for free.
That's really cool.
It is, but the thing is, the Ezra stress bug is just so damn efficient for its point cost and the
What's
effect
its point
that
cost?
Oh,
Roughly.
couldn't say offhand.
Low 20s?
Something like that, yeah.
I've got it in a list here, so
That's-
I'll tell you in a second. But
Yeah.
Yeah, low 20s. Like, I remember the old TLT Y-Wing, not TLT Y-Wing, the...
TLT Y-Wing is 25 with an R2 astromech.
Yes.
Yeah.
Was it the R3? A3? No, it's not. The stress bug. The stress
R3A2
bug.
is 2 points.
Yep.
Yep. And... Here we
So
go.
Ezra built that way is 25 points.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not bad.
That's really
Yeah.
cheap when you think about it.
Yep.
For what you're getting with
Yeah.
also with the coordinate
With
action.
Gunner, ooh.
So Ezra with Wired, Gunner, and R3A2 is 25 points.
That's not bad at all. That's a good little bug.
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine someone's eventually going to build a list specifically to kill it. They'll call it the Bug Zapper or the Bug Swatter or something. but
Right. So, Kimagila.
Bit dead on arrival, I'm going to have to say.
Yep. The Resistance. Waiting for its time.
I would say so. The bug is
Sheath of Peed.
Sheath
Sheath of Peed.
is amazing. It's wonderful.
Gunboat.
Gunboats. Yeah.
Gunboat. Gunboats are exceptionally good. So what I like seeing is actually the variety of gunboat builds that we're seeing. So we saw, I think it was the Queensland Regional, or up in Brisbane, where it was the silencer and 2 gunboats with harpoons that took that out.
Yeah.
That's a common variant. The other variant I'm seeing is actually 3 gunboats with quick draw.
Whoa, 4 ships?
Yes.
Oh, alright.
Yeah, I like that one.
Oh, I could do that. That'd be fun.
Yeah, which is good. And I've been mucking around with my own variations of putting like a Vader quick draw and the cheapest gunboat. So they're all loaded up with harpoon missiles. So you've got a sort of, a bit of
Blocking off each other.
yeah, as well. So great ship, really, really good. Silencer is a beautiful ship. It's really good to fly. I'd say that's a success, as I was saying earlier before.
Yeah, the silencer dial is...
Oh my god.
So forgiving.
Oh, yeah, like I hadn't...
Beautiful.
I'd been flying,
Yep.
mostly Rebels for months and months and months, getting used to doing really short, slow moves with big chunky ships. I'd forgotten what it was like to fly something fast.
Yeah.
So when I put the silencer down on the table for
Yep.
the first time, it just felt good to move it around.
Oh, do you know one of my favourite things? 5 forward barrel roll boost, and you're almost halfway across the board.
Yeah.
You're always in range then.
Yeah, it is.
I've seen silencers go down to Ezra stress bugs because the dial is
Yes.
designed to handle stress, but it's only designed to handle one stress at a time.
Yep.
Ah.
But if you can avoid the enemy stressing you,
Yep.
you will never be stressed.
Yeah, look, I think for those of you who remember your Suntir flying skills, it's exactly the same principle. Don't get Suntir, remember that? Don't get him double stressed.
Yeah,
if he lost his ability,
Yeah, he's done.
he's done.
But that's always been the same deal. Except I think
Yeah.
this new TIE Silencer, it's with its hull and shield, it's quite a bit more forgiving. Like you get 2 shots.
Yeah, you do.
You survive twice.
Yeah, and look, it arc dodges really well. My preferred variant is actually I've stripped it down to just prime thrusters, auto thrusters, and advanced sensors. And I don't take the title. So for those of you who don't know, we were discussing this before. The title is 2 point. It's kind of like a soft gunner, as in if you can re-roll a red dice if you got an enemy in your front arc and nobody else. You can re-roll your greens, but for 2 points.
I'd been trying to decide for quite a while what was the best system to put on there. Fire control system or advanced sensors. Everybody says advanced sensors, and academically I agree. But when I've been playing with it, I've always been stressed before in such a way that I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Because if you're repositioning, you might be stressed after you move, which means advanced sensors won't work. So I don't think advanced sensors is the only way to do it, but I went onto the forum just for curiosity's sake to see what would happen. And I said, hey guys, has anybody ever considered putting accuracy corrector on their silencer? Because then you could spend both your actions repositioning and you don't need to worry about taking focus or target lock to modify your attacks. What do you guys think? And every single person went, no. One guy just held down the key and just went, no. So I guess don't do that.
No.
I guess.
No?
Why not? Because no.
Because no. I guess.
Sure.
Look, my theory was it's a guaranteed 2 hits and its normal amount is 3 dice, but people were just saying, look, 2 hits isn't enough in this meta. And I mean, yeah, I suppose not, but I don't think it was that bad an idea.
No, that seems alright.
Anyway.
Oh, look, casual play, yeah, definitely. I think if you're asking the internet for an opinion, so I think that's I think that's always a mistake.
Yeah, never do that.
But look, I do like it with fire control. I sort of play it both ways, but I just like the sheer joy of repositioning and going fast. That's the thing I like about it. But look, overall, I think, as I was saying before, I think the game is in a healthier state than it certainly was maybe 4 or 5 months ago in terms of variety.
Certainly agree. I think it's been a good step up from what's been happening, and as you mentioned earlier, Lockie, that they're, FFG's starting to listen. They're starting to really crack down on it because I think they know the value of the property that they have now.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is the biggest miniatures game in the world, and they're going, oh, we should probably try and keep that audience.
Yeah, it's got to be fun to play. Like if one list gets too dominant, therefore the game gets too boring. Like you guys know me. My career, like my KD ratio or whatever it is, that I've lost more games of X-Wing than I've won. But I don't mind because playing X-Wing is some of the most fun you can have. Yeah. But so if I get beaten by somebody, I don't care. But if that person beats me with exactly the same list 100 times, it's gonna start to grate.
Yeah. Especially if you build lists to break it, but you can't break it.
Speaking of winning and losing, we should talk about your success the other week. Come on, don't be shy.
Oh,
come on.
Well, I was gonna. Yeah. Okay. So I won a tournament.
Oh, what?
For the. So
yes.
For the first time, I never won a tournament before. So yeah, the store where I played, they're only just sort of setting up their X-Wing community, so they didn't have an FFG prize kit. So I didn't win a Horton or anything. I won some store credit to the store, and I bought a copy of Betrayal at House on the Hill.
Oh, that's a good game.
Pretty awesome game.
It's a pretty good game.
But yeah, I was proud of myself just for actually specifically for the podcast. The list I took was the Moldy Crow list that I discussed last year. Sorry, a variation of it. So
is that the one I play against you, or a bit different?
No, the Moldy Crow concept that you helped me test. It was Jan with the Maul crew. It was Wolf Warrow with my usual loadout and a Stress Ezra. So I PS matched Nora. No, you were the one using Nora.
Nora.
Sorry. I PS matched Jan and Wolf Warrow. So just to refresh everybody's memory, the idea that I had was that Jan, by using Maul to attack in between a higher and a lower PS ally, meant that in a 3-ship list, Jan could raise the attack value of 2 of her friends. So Wolf Warrow at range 1 when damaged with Jan can roll 6 dice. And I did manage to actually hit an opponent with all 6 attacks on the night, which
it's a good feeling, isn't it?
Yeah. And then Jan, I should note, and it is in the FAQ, the Maul, when Maul is being used on a ship with TLT, it's not after the first round of attacks and the second round of attacks, it's after the one attack. So as you probably know with a TLT attack, you roll the 3, they defend, then you roll the 3, then they defend, and that is one attack. Yep. So after all of that has happened, if the TLT has done damage, then Maul can take your stress away. So so I was doing that. I was firing in between Wolf Warrow and Ezra, and they were both getting to raise their attack value, and actually once or twice Jan was stressed because of a bump or doing a red move on the Hawk dial, and then just used her attack, stripped the stress, and still allowed one friendly to use. Yeah, so it was supposed to just be a fun list, but yeah, it worked out. It
turned out to be really well.
It seems to be a good hard hitting. You've got hard hitting damage, constant damage, and also good board control. So
yeah,
that's still a bit dangerous.
Yeah, and what I referenced before about opponents attacking more valuable targets to destroy Ezra, that was the tournament where it was happening.
Yes.
So yeah, it was.
Good on you.
Yeah, I'm pretty proud of myself.
That's really good. You should be.
So is there anything else we should cover before moving on to lore?
I do actually want to bring up one thing, because the community has gone mad for Chopper, seeing lots of people theory crafting Chopper lists, putting them up saying, hey, what do you think of this? And something that pops up often, Chopper the Astromech.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing people put Chopper on the Sheathipede and equip the Phantom 2 title. I'm surprised this wasn't in the FAQ. I'm going to be waiting for an official word, but in my opinion, you can't fly a Sheathipede with the Phantom 2 title without a ghost. Because if you look at the Phantom 2 title card, there's no points cost on it. It doesn't have a 0, it has a little dash thing.
Yeah.
And the ghost title card says you may equip the Phantom 2 title card. It's kind of like permission.
Yeah.
I
was pretty sure you can't.
Yeah,
because it allows you to dock. That's the whole mechanic.
Exactly.
It's around, you can attach it and detach it and all that kind of thing, and you get the benefit when it's docked.
Yeah, so I don't normally venture personally into rules lawyering, but I think people are thinking, oh, I can put that on there and get a free shield with Chopper. I don't think you can.
Yes.
Yeah.
It just becomes an illegal list.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, also, thinking of things that came in that pack, I have been using the courier droid in Captain Rex.
Oh, yeah?
And it's working.
Yeah.
It obviously brings his points cost from 0 to 1, because you have to equip the title to put crew in the TIE Fighter. But for 1 extra point on Captain Rex, deploying at PS8 instead of deploying at PS4, it doesn't give away your squad's location straight away. For a support ship, it's valuable.
Yeah. Look, I've also seen another interesting variation on the Courier Droid, and that's been people putting it on the Decimator with Moff Jeff Gerard, or whatever his name is.
Jared.
Jared, thank you very much. Excuse my pronunciation tonight, I'm a little rusty on my Star Wars war. But yeah, so basically, so rather than taking a crit, they're tossing the Courier Droid out of the Decimator because it's 0 points. So it's just another nice little way of mitigating damage there too. So, I think, the little centipede, as I like to call it, it's a good... I'm going to go out and buy a couple of them, I think.
Yeah, it was so undervalued right from the start, which I do not understand at all. People are like, oh, it's a hidden gem. I'm like, what hidden? It's just a gem.
Yeah, but I have to say, you also called out that the Azitok.
Yes,
also, you were one of the early champions of that as well. Again, where I think people were like, "Oh, it's just a B-wing," or it's
No. The Azitok is absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
I particularly Wolf Warrow, I think, especially now. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I am actually a carpenter and a wooden ship just spoke to me. But yeah, flying a list with an Azitok and the Sheathipede in it, it was a very Lachlan thing to do.
I was going to call you the Wookiee Whisperer.
The Wookiee Whisperer. Wookiees don't whisper. Can you imagine a Wookiee being quiet?
What would that even sound like?
I don't think I want to know.
Shut up. You're being too loud. Can't take you anywhere. Alright, I think we should move on to lore.
Our rebellion is all that remains to push back the Empire. We think you might be able to help us.
And we're back. We haven't gone anywhere. It's only been probably an 8-second break, but we're back. And I thought we would kick off Season 2 with the most renowned, scummy person who isn't Boba Fett. Okay, Mike, you get one shot. Well, who is it?
Oh,
he doesn't know. This is...
No, I don't know the answer to this. Is it my... No, we've already... Is it a Jawa? A Jawa?
It is not. It is not a Jawa. Lockie, who is it?
Asajj Ventress.
Close. I say close because she was one of my first picks when I thought about doing it. I was thinking about doing Asajj Ventress. Then I thought about doing Fen Rao. And
Fen Rao would be good.
So I wanted to do Fen Rao, right? And I thought, scum, Fen Rao, that's cool. So as far as Fen Rao goes back, he was Imperial, then he was Rebels. He was never scum.
Oh, like in the official rule.
In canon, he was Imperials.
And then
so
Rebel.
he joined like with the when the Imperials took over, he joined with them, and that was fine. And then he got captured by the Rebels, and then he became a rebel. He was never actually like a gun for hire.
So you know what? There is a case for a Fen Rao Imperial pilot.
There absolutely is in the Concord Protectorate. Like
No. In the TIE Hunter.
Yes.
See what I did there?
Welcome to Hell of a Pilot Season 2, which we're rebranding as Hell of a Pilot presents the quest to get the TIE Hunter made.
It will happen. It'll come out one time, and we will entirely claim it.
Yeah.
Mike will claim it.
I will.
So, without further ado, the most scummy person I could come up with to start off Season 2 was Jabba the Hutt.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Nice.
So, all of this is canon. I didn't want to go into Legends, because Legends Jabba the Hutt, I imagine, is quite a lot bigger and quite a lot deeper. And since we only have quite a short section, I thought I'd just talk about the canon. Jabba the Hutt is 600 years old.
I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
So I originally thought that, how does one acquire the power that Jabba has, where he has literally the galaxy, or the outer rim of the galaxy, and all of them are subservient to him? It's because he lived for a very, very long time, and plans can take hundreds of years to come to fruition, but when they do, they do.
His mum and dad put one credit into a bank account when he was born, and then just the interest.
And that's literally all he's been living off.
Yeah.
Funny story, no one's credited to be Jabba's mother or father, but they have credited to be his grandmother and grandfather.
Does canon have the thing that Legends had, where Hutts are hermaphrodites?
They can change sex, yes.
Not that I'm aware of. I'm aware that he has a distinct mother and a distinct father.
Because in the Han Solo trilogy, which were books in Legends, Jabba had a grandfather who became his grandmother.
Oh, maybe it is.
I think they're sort of like fish. When there aren't as many of one gender around, a Hutt just sort of becomes the other one.
Yeah, maybe it is, because they kept calling him Papa and Mama, and maybe they've just stuck with that. Okay, so I thought it was one or the other. Okay, so he is feared throughout the Outer Rim, specifically the Outer Rim, because the Inner Rim is where Coruscant is, and there's mostly law enforcement there, and he doesn't like the law. Tatooine is his home world. That's where he's been for most of his life. He is known for his trafficking of illegal substances, slavery, and piracy. So he's actually just a bad guy, which is
and I think we forget that also that Han Solo was effectively the Star Wars equivalent of a cocaine smuggler.
Oh, he absolutely
just putting that out there.
He was smuggling spice, which is just a low form grade of glitterstim.
Yeah, the TV series Narcos is actually based on
on Han
Han
Solo.
Then he lost that shipment, and it was like, So he has a child. We're first introduced to him canonically. It's weird because he's been introduced, but only because we already know him. So they didn't really need to put a whole lot of depth in him. Rotter, his son, was kidnapped and to be leveraged by the Separatists, so that because he was in a very good position. He was controlling the outer hyperspace laneways, the outer rim hyperspace laneways, and both the Separatists and the Republic, they needed that. Because, there's a war to win, and wars are won on logistics. So they needed that. So the Separatists kidnap him to leverage him into doing what they needed, and then good old Jedi Mary Sue's Anakin, when he was Mary Sue, jumps in and saves Rotta and returns him to the Hutts, and then the Hutts are aligned with the Republic. Therefore, the Republic is aligned with gangsters, so maybe not the good guys we thought they were.
But also, that was also, for listeners, if you don't know, that was showcased in the original Clone Wars movie.
Yes, that was
which is the very substandard start to the entire Clone Wars series.
Isn't it? It was boring.
So if you ever, and we've talked a lot about the Clone Wars, if you haven't watched it, go back and watch it. You can ditch that movie. It has no relevance on the rest of the series. Although it is the first time we're introduced to Ahsoka. That's about the only notable thing about it.
If you have a passing knowledge of Ahsoka, you can miss it.
True.
There's quite a I'm going on a tangent here, but there's quite a good list on like IMDb or something where they just say, watch these particular 10 shows and you will have a good time. So he is a member of the Hutt cartel, Hutt Council, and where he's a member. Then the next time we talk about the Hutt Council, we hear about a Hutt Council member called Zero who got captured by the Republic. The Republic was like, hey, listen, you're going to be here a while, and Zero was going to give in some information about some shady dealings with the Hutt Council that was going to probably put them in away for life, or, if anything, give the Republic a reason to go to war with the Hutts. The Hutts got worried about this, and they sent Cad Bane to go get Zero. How did Cad Bane do this? Well, he captured a bunch of senators, and he basically effectively did a hostage trade to get them back. Zero was then put inside a container, inside somewhere else where they
maximum security
another place, but only by the Hutts themselves. Then Jabba found out that she in fact was going to snitch, so he got Zero's ex-girlfriend to break him out of jail and then quietly put two between the eyes.
Wait on, was that the singing, dancing thing from Return of the Jedi?
Yep.
The sexy potato, as we like to call it?
Sexy potato shot him in the head.
Oh, that thing with the long snout thing.
Yes.
She has a kill count.
Yeah. So when you see in Return of the Jedi, she's actually
a femme fatale.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so...
Never thought you'd put those two concepts together.
No.
So, a lot of what makes Jabba so powerful is sort of done behind the scenes. He's known as this big shot. He has a lot of money, throws money around, he gets things done. He does it by, like, taxing people because he basically becomes the government out there. This leads to the next bit, which is the Shadow Collective. The Shadow Collective is Maul. When Maul is towards the end of his arc, he gets the Death Watch, which are essentially Mandalorian fundamentalists, the Pike Gang and the Black Sun Syndicate together to take over Mandalore, because why the hell not? I got the black lightsaber. That's cool. So that's what they wanted to do. They went to the Hutts, and time number 1, where Jabba the Hutt let a Force user with a lightsaber into his palace. He got overconfident, and they basically... He said to them... Maul said to him, this is what you're going to do. And the Hutt said, well, what am I getting out of it? And he said, well, I'm just not going to kill you. And he's like, well, all right, I guess. And that was the first time.
I mean, the Hutts are famous for making deals, but a deal can be very simple. You know, a deal doesn't have to be complex. It can just be an agreement to not murder.
Yeah. Well, initially, the Hutts laughed at that and was like, oh, yeah, good luck with that. And then he black lightsabered, and then the Death Watch attacked, and the Pike Gang, the Black Sun attacked, and this big joint adventure attack, and it happened.
Yeah.
So basically, they got what they wanted anyway. So that's the first time a Force user went into his palace and got what they wanted, and because Jabba the Hutt got overconfident. The next time was after the Clone Wars, before Episode 1, I believe, and this is in the Vader comics. Darth Vader, and this is a great
Yes.
comic book like scene. When Vader shows up and he's talking, he's like, I need to talk to you. Look, I need you out of rim, like hyperspace. We can do this again. We're buddies. And the guy's like, well, what am I gonna get out of this? And he's like, I'm just not gonna hurt you. I'm not gonna hurt you. It's gonna be fine.
So this is Vader.
This is Vader saying, I'm trying to get what I want in Hutt's, and then the Hutt called him. He called him a Jedi. He's like, oh, you Jedi, which really, really pissed off Vader. And Vader ignited his lightsaber, which caused all of the Hutt guards to shoot at Vader, and then a series of great comic book panels later, everyone's dead. Except for Vader and the Hutt. And the Hutt's like, well, I still want something out of this. And then, so, Vader's like, all right, we're going to pay for everything. It'll be fine. Whatever you need. And Hutt's like, well, how much money you got? And he's like, I got all the money. It's fine. This goes like, so there's actually quite a, it's not started on a great term, but Vader and the Hutts are actually on quite a good terms considering he saved his son's life. The Hutts don't know that. But then he brokered a deal with the Hutts, which was fine. That both parties were quite happy with it.
It makes sense though if you think about it. Like the galaxy is pretty big. It's going to be difficult to rule something that size. Like the Empire are damn determined to do it. But if they can have somebody controlling the Outer Rim, and it sounds like Jabba was in control.
Yes.
All they have to do is control Jabba. Jabba controls the Outer Rim. The Empire controls the Outer Rim.
So it's actually, no, you're right, like, because actually now, so both in Legends and canon, particularly now, so the Hutts were known for being for the Empire turning basically a blind eye to all their operations for that exact reason. One, they didn't want to risk conflict, but also because it was an effective means of control.
Yeah,
it was. Mob control is control.
Yeah, so I was wondering before when you said that Jabba doesn't go into the Inner Rim because there's law enforcement. Would they care all that much?
Yes. There's a certain extent where you can have plausible deniability.
I'm just imagining him being in any movie or TV show where the really corrupt baddie just pays the police and it's fine. Like Robert De Niro bashing someone's head in with a bat, kind of thing, and nobody cares.
Look, I mean, I think again, so what's sort of a picture that's starting to emerge with the Empire in the new canon is that it was at its heart corrupt.
Oh, yeah.
So there were no checks and balances, and that essentially that you had a lot of powerful individuals from your Darth Vader to your Moff Tarkin to all the way down to the local official who essentially used power at their whim or were corrupted, and it makes a lot of sense. Like in any dictatorship, what you often get is that rigid political control, but that huge organized crime element, which actually works hand in glove. So it's a real world analogy there.
Yeah, it's the galaxy's a big place.
Yeah,
and all that they really wanted was the Inner Rim.
Yeah,
and if they could say, well, we control everything, not having to put an entire battalion on Tatooine. Because if they were
you're absolutely right.
If they were to leverage the power from the Hutts, if they were to do that, they would have had to go to war.
They'd have to go to war, but then they'd have to police it.
Yeah.
I mean, look, there were times where the Empire did police the spacing lanes, where they did deal with pirates, so it was sort of like an uneasy truce.
Yeah.
But it was sort of like, look, if you run a little spice and you kind of keep it under the radar, it's fine.
Well, that's also the case when it comes to Han Solo. Like, there's, again, plausible deniability. It's like, well, we can't exactly just let this continue. Yeah. And sometimes, I think, they wanted to flex their muscles and just remind Jabba that, like, listen, we, even though we have a deal, we're still the ones in control. Which is what happened to Han Solo, where he lost quite a large shipment so he could just ditch it and run. Oh, I didn't have spice. What are you talking about? Yeah. And then Jabba was like, listen, you have to pay that back.
And it triggers the whole bounty.
Basically. It also...
that triggers Han Solo's story arc in the original trilogy.
Yeah. Yep. And then all these things happen and he hires bounty hunters and all of this. And that's basically the story of Jabba the Hutt, as far as we can tell.
Yep, died by chain from slave Leia.
Yeah, and I guess, technically it's his own fault. He's the one who put the bounty on Han Solo, and there you go. I'm not really sure. Oh no, so Boba Fett delivered him, and Boba Fett got the reward.
Correct.
Yeah. I was thinking that Vader delivered him for some reason.
Yeah, no, but, I mean, Cloud said Vader, Imperial sprung the trap, and then he just passed him on to Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Effectively.
Basically, Boba Fett was just a middleman.
Yeah.
We're not collecting bounties. We're just capturing bad guys.
Yes. My favourite Boba Fett is the robot chicken Boba Fett.
Yeah. What's that? 2 lightsabers? One red, one blue, put them together, it's purple! That's a really silly episode. I love it. Okay, I think that rounds out lore.
Hey, you're not permitted in there. It's restricted. You'll be deactivated for sure. Don't you call me a mindless philosopher, you overweight glob of grease. Now come out before somebody sees you.
It's the end of the night. I hope everyone's enjoyed the very first episode of Season 2 of Hell of a Pilot. Our first shout-out is to Steve Heap, who's our 400th follower on Facebook. Hello, Steve.
Thanks, Steve.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. We're approaching our 500, which is going to be, I don't know, we'll send them something, probably. I've promised, yeah. I will. I'll send you something, but just a thank you of some kind. Mike?
I've got 2. First one is to Leo Skelly, who has been a recent visitor to our Facebook page and liked a whole lot of stuff. So thank you for that. Much appreciated and welcome.
He liked 21 things. all at once. I had to count them because if you like more than 20, Facebook just sends you an alert that says
20
someone has liked 20 plus things.
That helps. It helps a lot, actually. It helps no, thank you, Leo. Much appreciated. Also, the other shout out is to Aussie Fire on the iTunes store, who gave us a 5-star review. Thank you very much. Now, listeners, small favour to ask. We don't often plug this, but if you have a spare moment, if you could pop over to the iTunes store, give us a rating. It does a couple things, bumps us up the charts there, and makes people more aware of us. And it gives us a warm inner glow, particularly Owen. Owen's warm inner glow is a thing to behold.
Yeah, it's blue.
Yes. I thought it was magenta. Oh, thanks.
No, it's just majestic.
So I think I'd go back to my next shout out, which is to Ian McGregor. We've actually shouted him out a couple times, haven't we?
Yeah, none of us have ever met him, and he lives in a different state, but he interacts with the podcast and the page a lot, so we really like him.
We do like Ian.
Hey,
he's
Ian.
a champ.
So we wanted to shout out to him because he's commented to us. Oh my god, I can't even say a word. About if you've listened to our holiday special, and I really hope you have, listeners, because that was something we're very proud of. We spoke about the charity event, the council. What is it? The
campaign against cancer.
Campaign against cancer, and we said that we wanted to make more charity events out there, and he let us know that his friendly local gamer store is the one that's actually running it, which is Rebel.
So, how's that for a coincidence?
Yeah, it's amazing. Rebel Outpost Cards and Games. If you're anywhere near there in Wyong.
Let me see.
Central Coast. It's the Central Coast of New South Wales. Do go and enjoy this game and help everyone enjoy life by enjoying this game. I mean, this is a win-win situation.
Hey, I want to shout out to Mark Cook, who asked on a painting forum, are there any good X-Wing podcasts to listen to? And I commented, I know one. Yeah, and Mark said that he might have a listen. So Mark, if you did, hey man. I want to shout out to JM's Wood, maybe, who's a user on the FFG X-Wing
James
forum.
Woods.
James Woods.
Oh, wow.
on the X-Wing forum.
Yeah.
We were talking about, the thread was builds for Fen Rao, and I suggested Operations Specialist, as I said before to you guys, and also R3 Astromech, which has been hated since the day it came out. It's
Correct.
the one where, when attacking, you can cancel an eye result to add an evade token to your ship. I actually think that kind of works on Fen Rao.
Because if you roll an eye and cancel it, you get an evade token on your ship, and he can't modify his dice because he won't have any tokens, and people are going to attack your support ship. So get yourself an evade token.
Yeah, makes it more annoying.
So I've won games with that build. I've lost games with that build. I think it's okay, so I suggested it.
That might be good with Gunner.
Yeah?
Yeah, if you roll an eye, cancel it because you got a Gunner anyway.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah,
So
true.
I suggested that, and Jim's Wood said, I hate R3 so much, I feel like people are intentionally trolling me every time they try to make it work. Operations Specialist isn't much better. R3 and OpSpec are two of the most poorly received cards in the game, crucified by sensible players everywhere for crimes committed by their developers. And I just want to... I commented back just saying, I'm not a sensible player. But yeah, the last shout out is to Louis Yao, who's been a follower of ours for quite a while.
Yes.
Shouting out to him because I only just found this out by looking at his profile recently. Because he sent us a message about something else unrelated. He lives in Canberra, the capital city of Australia, where I went on holiday for a week while I had some time off from work. And yeah, I just thought that was an amusing coincidence that, I don't know him, he doesn't know me, he didn't know I was there. But yeah, apparently they have X-Wing in our nation's capital.
It's actually quite a
big
good
place for it.
Yeah. There's a big community there. Good players there too.
A lot of I think the Nationals for last year was there.
Yep, you went to Canberra.
I did, and it was good. There's a very, very good players there.
Yeah.
Hot damn.
Yep, indeed.
But yeah, Canberra's a beautiful city aside from X-Wing as well. I went to Parliament House where the Australian government does their work, and I got
Occasionally.
I got a bacon and egg roll because you can just, even as a member of the public, you can just go in and buy breakfast at Parliament House. It was delicious. It was so good.
I like Canberra. You can explore it in a day.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right. Welcome to Hell of a Pilot, the Yelp review.
All right. Other than that, you may be listening to this on Podbean, you may be listening to this on iTunes, or perhaps maybe you're listening to this on YouTube, because we decided why not, and now we're also on YouTube.
That's exciting.
Yes.
Thank you, Owen. Good work, man.
I have no idea how I'm going to make this work, but I'm going to make it work. So...
Do you want to talk about the other thing you've been doing?
No.
Right,
Not yet.
cut that bit out.
No.
Shh, secret
That's
squirrel
the
business.
No, this is secret stuff. This
Secret
is gonna
stuff.
will come out in 2 weeks' time.
Yes.
What's Owen talking about? What's it all about?
Surprises.
Are we going to leave this in? Not cut it.
Oh,
Build
goodness.
suspense.
Yes.
Yes.
What could Owen be planning?
Yes.
This is not a joke. A thing is actually happening in real life.
It's pretty great.
Yeah.
It's pretty great. Anyway, thank you for listening to us. We've been Hell of a Pilot. This is season 2, now with better audio quality and just more experience.
Hooray, 2018!
2018's here.
Woohoo.
All right. Thank you, everyone, and